The Boondock Saints is a movie following two schizophrenic brothers as they take justice into their own hands at the behest of their deity and the autistic fed that is working their case. It's violent, filled with slurs, and just about as edgy as an action movie can get. A limited theatrical release resulting from its close proximity to the Columbine massacre, in conjunction with less than soaring critical reviews, caused this tale of two mentally unwell brothers to bomb at the box office. Years later, after its release on digital versatile disc, the popularity of this long-forgotten action movie skyrocketed, giving it the dubious honor of being dubbed a cult classic. So who is right? Are the critics correct in their assessment that this is nothing but a Tarantino wannabe of little substance? Or are the plebs right? I mean, after all, the cult following was fervent enough in their adoration to spawn at least one, and tentatively two, sequel films. Well, in my opinion, it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. The best thing about this movie is by far the performance by Willem Dafoe.
Stop the ass kissing with you.
This man just goes for it and steals the show every time he is on screen, to the point where he makes one of the most ridiculous scenes I've ever seen in a movie, one of the most iconic scenes, on the back of his line delivery.
There was a firefight!
To be clear, this federal agent is tearing off his clothes and discharging his weapon into the air while screaming, and we the audience are just eating it up because Mr. Dafoe is selling this scene so hard. Additionally, Mr. Dafoe also serves as a pseudo-narrator of sorts throughout the movie. Instead of having the action sequences play out in a linear fashion, they're often shown through the lens of Mr. Dafoe's character, Special Agent Paul Smecker, as he uses his investigatorial prowess to suss out what went down. As Smecker does his sussing, we cut to the actual events transpiring, resulting in a non-linear style of storytelling that I really enjoyed. This style doesn't really serve to refute the Guy Ritchie Tarantino knockoff allegations, but hey, if it works, it works. Speaking of the action sequences, how are they? Well, they're okay. Probably a little bit better than okay, but I watched this after having binged all 4 John Wick movies. So the bar for what constitutes good fight choreo was set pretty high. Techno music backing the scenes of guns firing and mobsters dying works well enough, but it's really nothing that hasn't been done before. And by that, I mean it's very reminiscent of the gunplay in The Matrix, which had been released 4 months prior. These two movies came out close enough to one another that I don't think there was any ripping off going on, but it's hard to not see the similarities. Finally, Boondock Saints is reasonably funny and very quotable. I say this as an owner of 2 cats, one of whom I literally named my YouTube channel after, but this scene with the cat just got me. I'm not going to play it in its entirety for obvious reasons, but this bit of violent physical humor just left me cackling like a madman for a solid 5 seconds. In addition to this, there's no shortage of quippy one-liners that can be regurgitated ad nauseum amidst some chums, which, in a pre-internet era, was very important in a movie. The combination of these two things just gives the entirety of Boondock Saints a very fun, cheeky tone, as long as you don't take anything happening too seriously. The issue is that Boondock Saints kinda wants to be taken seriously, at least a little bit. The movie starts with a priest referencing Kitty Genovese, saying something to the effect that all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to stand by and do nothing, implying that the McManus brothers are good men because they are doing something to rid the world of evil, which, just no. I made a snarky comment in the intro about them being schizophrenic. That's because their entire call to action is being visited by God. Religious delusions are a legitimate symptom of schizophrenia. All the more legitimate when, quote-unquote, God is literally telling you to murder people. There is even a scene towards the end of the film when a priest says something to a similar effect, but it's mostly just glossed over to get back to the shooting. The film tries once again in the end credits scene to give a nuanced take in regards to the actions of the brothers, but this is a pretty tough sell when the bulk of the preceding runtime has been in service of praising the two's delusional fervor. Vigilante justice is bad. We, as a society, do not want random people meting out their own personal brand of morality to whomever they feel is deserving. Any individual claiming to be the sole arbiter of justice is not an individual qualified to arbitrate judicial matters. Broader notions and themes set aside, the actual plot of Boondock Saints is, to put it charitably, not great. We don't have any degree of characterization of the protagonists other than our poor, our brothers, our Irish Catholics. The same could be said of almost every character on screen. The bumbling sidekick is a bumbling sidekick, the bad guys are bad guys, and so on. Even the patriarch of the McManus family, who is supposed to be an expert assassin, doesn't even recognize his own sons until he hears them praying their special family prayer or whatever. Characters in Boondock Saints have almost zero depth and really only serve two purposes: to fire guns and deliver one-liners. The sole exception to this critique being Paul Smecker. Mr. Smecker is portrayed as nothing if not a forensic savant. He's better than all the other cops that he's working with, and it shows in every interaction between the two. He is also gay. I've seen some Reddit folks saying that he's perpetuating harmful stereotypes, and I, as a heterosexual man, disagree. In a time where the F-slur was thrown around with zero regard for the implications of what that word actually means,
he's right! Individually we are weak, like a single twig! But as a bundle we form a mighty...
having an openly gay character be a paragon of competence is a very good thing. Furthermore, Smecker is reasonably masculine, except for this scene, I guess. And this masculinity is a stark deviation from the stereotypical gay characters that would often appear on screen in movies of this era. And I feel this is equally empowering as his investigatorial prowess. It showed a whole generation of young men that not all gay folks are effeminate twinks, and I think that's probably a good thing. In my opinion, Boondock Saints is not the cult classic that it's cracked up to be, nor is it the Tarantino Lite that critics make it out to be, so I'm giving it a score that is reflective of this dedication to mediocrity, a 5 out of 10. While the bits and quips are good enough, the saving grace of this movie is Mr. Dafoe. As good as he was though, one man alone cannot carry the weight of an entire film on his shoulders. And the Boondock Saints has a lot of weight to carry, from the lackluster character development to an underlying message that is best summed up in this image of a Blue Lives Matter Punisher skull. The entire movie falls apart if you think about it for more than just a second. So, just don't do that. Turn your brain off for 108 minutes. Watch gun go bang bang, watch blood go spurt spurt, have yourself a gay old